We'll go ahead and start. Let me know when you start. Okay. Well, hey everybody, welcome to the Saloniverse AMA today. DG have SS here with me. We got Fiendish also on. I believe Drew is either here or coming. Obviously, we got some of the team on here, and they're going to be happy to help field a lot of this stuff as well. So I'm going to go ahead and Uh, I don't know exactly how far back to go, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the most recent questions that are in here, and then we're going to go for a little bit in that direction. In the interest of time, we're going to try to keep this AMA to about 45 minutes. So I'm going to answer some of these questions, and I'm going to try to leave some time for anybody that needs or wants to come up to raise their hand. And then Fiendish and Oikum, if you guys are trading athlete, if you guys can help me to bring people up when the time comes. I apologize if there's any background noise. Having to do this from the car today because some other things that I had to go do this morning. So uh, we're gonna continue forward. So uh, this last question is, hello, how is everyone? So that's a great question. We're doing good. Hopefully everybody else is as well. First and foremost, apologize for the little bit of space between the last AMA and this one. I know that we've been trying to get on a more regular path of doing these. Life obviously gets hectic sometimes, and I apologize for that. But there is obviously a lot that's been going on lately, and so it's all very exciting. And hopefully we can touch on a lot of that stuff moving forward. So um, we're going to go ahead and look at this one. It says, any chance we get to see even concept art of the Soul Sand land airdrops? Um, so we can absolutely work on that. It's a lot of the environment stuff has been built already because of the trailers. Um, so I don't want to say a day, but yes, that is something that we can work on and release to you guys here in the near future. I think that we can probably do some cutaways and some screenshots and get you guys some land pictures this week. Um, let's see. I'm gonna mark these here so that I know where I'm at. Okay. So when does marketing start? What is the marketing budget? How will you be marketing? What are your expected growth numbers for the Discord/Twitter? What changes will we see in Discord, if any at all? So, a bunch of questions. Let's start with number one. The marketing is beginning this week for Soul Drifters. Uh, Still, our primary focus at this point is on the raise. And not necessarily on the Soul Drifters launch, but those two are kind of hand in hand. It's a symbiotic relationship. So as VCs are looking at the project, obviously, we want to show them why they should invest in our project. So um, we will be starting doing marketing. There's going to be some DMs. There's going to be some influencer stuff. We are talking with a project advisor who's worked on over 30 projects, potentially bringing him on board as well. Um, yes, there's going to be a ton of marketing ongoing for this project. But right now, the primary focus is going to be on the raise. But yeah, just like I said, those things kind of work hand in hand. So, um, what is the marketing budget? I mean, that's going to be determined by how well we do on the raise. Again, that's the primary focus, right? We need to get everything and all of our ducks in a row for that. And so, while we're on the topic of budgets and stuff, just trying to be as transparent as possible, obviously. A lot of this stuff costs a ridiculous amount of money, and uh, Obviously, the price of Solana is not helping with where our budget is. I'm sure you guys are feeling the effects of that as well. We believe in it in the long term, obviously, but in the short term, it is causing a little bit of a hiccup for us. But the next steps for us there is kind of getting the DAO formed, as well as the different international entities that need to be created in order to facilitate the raise. And so that's where our focus is right now, is creating these multiple different international entities, one of them being the DAO as well. And all of those things kind of fit together in terms of what's needed to facilitate getting money in the first place from the raise, right? So, um, expected growth numbers for Discord and for Twitter. Um, you know, there's a lot of ways to skin that cat. I mean, we could pay money and bought those numbers and pump the numbers, but we've never been that type of project, and we don't want to start now. We really like having a high percentage of online members, especially in the Discord. Um, and not that some of that stuff doesn't have bearing or value. Obviously, uh, you get 2,000-3,000 tweets on Twitter, even if they're bots. It puts your stuff out there in front of the people that you want to see it. So there is merit and value to some of that promotional stuff. Obviously, we'll be doing promotional stuff. I think a great goal for us is probably to double in size, especially here in the Discord. So if we could get from 15 to 30, I think that's really on the right track. And, I would love to see that happen over the course of the next 2 to 3 months, maybe sooner, right? The What changes will we see in the Discord? So if you guys all remember, the hype leading up to Soul Sand, we're going to be doing more activity-based things in the server. We're going to be doing more games, more Twitter raids. I can't stress enough the importance of community support, right? Like in the NFT space and in the space that we're doing, the support of the community is the most important thing, right? Oh well, they don't need me to go and retweet that tweet that they just made, but we do. It makes a difference, right? Like, and so yes, we're gonna do contests and give stuff away, but ultimately, at the end of the day, we're really counting on those of you that are already a part of this community, those of you that already have whitelists, right? Because you hold Soul Sand, right? To still be a part of that, to still be active in those things, to still push to the next level. We can do everything from our side, but we're still relying upon you guys to also help us with that and help make sure that the word gets out. Obviously, you guys saw the floor moving very, very well and in the right direction, just from the small amount of news coming out about Soul Drifters. So, that's really exciting. Um, we'd love to keep that momentum going. And, I can't stress enough how important it is for all of us as a community to be a part of that. And we really appreciate that you guys are standing behind us and standing behind the project and continuing to take us to that level. So in the Discord, those will be some of the changes you'll see. Once there is a Soul Drifters Mint, you'll also see that. Once the DAO is formed, we will probably make some changes for DAO related events as well.
And
Uh,
also in the Discord, I've been working with Sir Otter and I. We've been trying to get some plans out for as we have these new people coming in from marketing and promotion. We're gonna try to create some cool activities surrounding the lore and like create a role playing channel with roles and activities and challenges to really help bring a level of immersion into the Solanaverse. So it's not just all marketing and promotion and sell this NFT, but kind of come together as a community and create some story and some exciting things with that. So there's going to be a lot of cool activities coming up as we go surrounding like new updates with art and all that stuff. So we have a lot of stuff in the works.
Absolutely, that's a great point, Fiendish. And on top of that, we did just bring on two writers, actors, writers from Hollywood that have worked on a number of big pictures. And they're going to be helping Sir Otter, obviously, with a lot of the lore creation here. So there's going to be a lot of that. That uh,
Looks like we're losing Dave for a minute here, so let me see if I pick up where he was. It's all scattered electronic sounds. Your reception's kind of down. All right, so let's So how many? We're going to 4RG above that Cracker Pats. We got how many hours does the core team spend on the project every week combined, and who are these core team members? The core founders are Dave, myself, Steve, and Drew. We have some other team members we've added on. We got Sir Otter's going to be doing a lot with the lore and activities and role playing in the contest. We're putting as much time as we can between our lives and our work lives into this project. I know I personally put over 30 hours a week into this, and I know the same of Dave and Steve and Drew get in there around that as well. The project manager, I would say, is what we would consider Dave right there. And 3, it would be great to see the burn down of the project task so we can easily understand the progress towards the final deliverables. Alright, so that's one of the things. So we're sharing what we're working on, but final deliverables, like if you're talking about getting the full Solanaverse built, that's like one of the things is our focus on getting this raise going, because we're talking about the level of immersion and scope for an Unreal Engine 5 metaverse project. It could never possibly be built with the funds from the Soul Sand Mint, especially when you consider the price of Solana. What we're doing is we're trying to best use these funds to keep building the project and we're getting everything ready for the raise. We've got a great looking pitch deck ready to go. We got our tokenomics on point, our staking strategies, and we're waiting for this completion. We have the cinematic trailer, the action trailer ready for the raise, and we also want to have a little bit of the marketing going and have some new activity in the server and on our socials before we go before these VCs. So that, and what is the split of revenue from the sales and royalties to the original mint?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Back.
Sorry. Yeah. All right, where are we at?
We were on 4RG. I was answering the first few questions. I was on like 3 or 4 there. If you want to.
Awesome. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with my phone. Okay, so kind of already. How many of these did you get through already? 3 of them. Okay. So, what is the split of revenue from sales, royalties, original mint to wages? So, let me just be clear. Everybody on the Solanaverse team hasn't taken a dime in wages, like with one exception, and he's no longer on the team, right? So the rest of us, we do this. We all have regular jobs that were our day jobs, and then we do this not only in every moment of our spare time, but our real lives and real jobs suffer because of this, and this is what we're doing, and we put everything that we have into this, and we aren't taking salary right now. If this is a successful raise at that point, then we can talk about our team taking salaries. You know, we pay our mods for you know, for their time. We tip them well or take care of them. We give a lot back to the community. We put all the money back into the project. And as Venus was saying, you know, we never expected that the one NFT drop was gonna build this you know, what's probably gonna be multi-million-dollar project, right? So, you know, the small amount of money that we did bring in, you know, transparency, right? Like half of that left with the one person who's no longer on our team, and the other half of that has basically all gone back into this project. You know, none of us take a salary of our own. We dedicate our time and our resources to this because we see the finish line and the big from where this is going, right? And for us, it's not about making money right now. So again, if the raise goes successfully, then absolutely a few of us are willing to dedicate full-time, 100% effort, you know, and 100% time to this. And at that point, we'll be able to take a salary. But, you know, for right now, we give it 100% of our time and ability that we can. And, you know, I think it's taken a little bit longer than all of us wanted or expected, but I'm very happy kind of with the way things have been coming together here in the last month or so. So, how much money or funds are left from the Soul Sand Mint, and how much are we spending per week or per month? So, again, we're getting close to you know, the nitty gritty on that. I don't have the exact figures in front of me. I know that what is left right now is pretty much dedicated to this raise, right? Setting up the entities in multiple different countries that are needed, paying the legal fees for that kind of stuff to happen, setting up the DAO. Obviously, 3D assets aren't cheap, right? And you know, it is a necessity if we plan on moving forward to have these 3D assets, this environment, you know, the actual land itself, like all of that stuff was necessary in order for us to be able to get to the raising step, right? So, you know, that's where we are now. I know that we should have enough and are willing to even put up our own money if need be to get through this raise and get to the next phase there. Obviously, like, we're going to continue putting some money into marketing as well, and goal is as more comes in, right? Because, like, you know, these raises, it's not like just one person comes and hands you $12 million, right? Like, so, you know, as more money comes in, we're going to dedicate those resources to where they need to go, especially to marketing, development. Those are like the big things right now. And absolutely, I mean, that's kind of where we're at with that. We're going to go to this next one. This is a really long one. So, please reintroduce the Sneak Peeks channel. Done. I saw this one the other day and did it when I saw it. And share some assets in there, and we have been. And as we get more, we will continue putting them in there. We're working on some animations and stuff to give you guys as well, because I had seen that in one of the chats that you guys were asking for, and we're going to have it for you here very soon. Obviously, the cinematic trailer has already been released, and we're working on the gamified trailer. And let's see, if one of the devs created an NPC character, show it off, sneak peeks, tell us a bit about it, why it's created. All this is stuff that we're working on. Again, we have Sir Otter, and we just brought on these two guys, and I'll be releasing their IMDb profiles later on today. And they're going to be helping us with creating the lore and ongoing. We have an entire team now that's dedicated to writing and creation of content on that side of things. and these guys are, not just nobodies, right? Like Sir Otter's been doing this in the NFT space for quite a while. These other guys have been writing for a number of different really large movie projects and worked with, world famous directors and actors. So, the just for immersion, or will it be giving out a quest? Absolutely. I think that's what Fiendish was touching on. We're not going to wait till Solaniverse comes around to start giving you guys quests and stuff. So, that's part of why we brought on all these writers, right, is to help facilitate that and really add to the role-playing aspect of what's going on pre-launch of the game, right? So maybe part in a very complicated quest, maybe one of the Guardians' ancient dungeons, final room where a boss fight would take place, fire. Speaking of quests, I don't know if anyone from your team has ever played RuneScape back in the days, but the questing system of RuneScape was so good I have no words to express it. There were massive plot twists in a lot of those quests, and the storyline was really fun too. I personally haven't played RuneScape. I can't speak for everybody on the team, but absolutely we can look into that, and I think that some of our guys for sure have. For example, Monkey Madness, where on completion you would be granted access to a rare book of spells. It is one of the most iconic of the few existing spellbooks in the game. While wielding this book, you would gain access to a powerful black magic spell that you could use in battle. If you had leveled your magic skills far enough for the spell you wanted to cast from that book, stun and disarming spells were also a thing. Utility spells. Anyways, I just wanted to ask if it was possible to share more game assets for new object designs with us. Absolutely, we're going to be doing that more and more here in the next few weeks. That would attract so many people and build much hype. Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more, and I think it's even just a small amount of stuff that we've released lately here has already proven that that's the case. So, I mean, I'm very excited with where we're going and what's been happening lately, and I hope that you guys are as well. But seriously, why haven't you guys been doing this? Make sure that you guys are aware of the positive effects that this will have on the community. Absolutely. There's only so much time in the day is a great answer. Also, we're only a small group, and we rely upon people that we pay money to do things. And unfortunately, in this world, sometimes you pay people money and they don't come through when you expect them to, or they don't deliver what you expected them to, and they don't live up to your expectations regardless of how much you paid them. It's on us to try to pick the right people, but, you're not always going to get the perfect person for the job and get the exact outcome that you expect every single time. And I think that we've done a pretty good job of getting to where we are now, even giving some of those challenges. And sorry if you already knew about these things, but how could I have? Okay, yeah, that's there. We can absolutely work on our communication skills. I know we were really bad about it for a little while there. We've gotten a lot better about it, and then kind of let that lapse just a little bit. And hopefully, you can tell that we're trying to make an effort as far as the communication side of things goes to keep you guys in. So I think a big part of that, is obviously like we're adding to the team, making sure that there's more ways that you guys can get in contact with us. And we're going to try to continue doing these AMAs on a weekly basis moving forward here. So looks like
on that point, though, there's
it's over there. Oh, yeah.
this is literally a worldwide project, and there's not just dozens, but hundreds, thousands of people that are interested and invested in this project. And in any group bigger than one, it's hard to please everybody all the time. These questions are awesome. It's great. We want to continue to communicate and realize that there's a lot of different ways to get to the goal line. And not everybody's going to always agree on the path that we take, but, trust and believe that we really are trying to get to the goal line. And we're going to continue to work, and we're going to continue to push that roadmap and get us to where we all want to be and have the Solanaverse be a reality with land and all this promised utility. We're getting there, but it does take time.
Yeah, that's a great point. Looks like we've got, this is from Betmassa and Daller. You guys are pointing out that Verse has already been taken by Shibaverse, and also a few other projects. So to avoid confusion, a more personalized token name would be ideal. Looks like GM Daler made the suggestion of Drift, and Betmassa is seconding the motion. I love it. I mean, me personally, I'm a Drift fan to begin with, like car drifting. And I know it doesn't have anything to do with this, except for if there's going to be vehicles, Solanaverse, and potentially that exists as an opportunity. But I'm not opposed to changing the name. Definitely something that we would need to do pre-raise. So
prior to the release of the coin, you all have to understand that for sure, if there's already somebody, like tomorrow, somebody could come up with a name. We might agree, let's change it to Drift, and tomorrow somebody releases a coin named Drift. So prior to the actual launch, the naming will definitely be addressed.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And, it's not set in stone until we write the contract and release onto the blockchain, right? So, but Drift is a great idea. I think maybe we can come up with a couple of different ones and then let you guys vote, at least the GM Dunes, maybe anybody who's a holder. Okay, so how many hours does the core team spend on this project every week combined?
I can't count that high.
I know. So the core team consists of four of us, right? It's Drew, Steve, myself, and Adam, right? Fiendish, SS, Drew, and DG, right?
That's the core team, and then we have all these
that's
other...
That's the core team, and then from there there's, and again, nobody on the core team gets paid, right? Then you have all the different mods, and there's 6 or 7 mods. Got Sir Otter, who helps work on writing and lore. We just brought on these 2 Hollywood guys. We have the trading athlete, who is like a liaison, or has helped set up the council. Then there's the council members who also are volunteering their time, effort, and energy to help facilitate the growth of the project. It's literally hours a day. So we were on a phone call last night from 7 to 8:30 at night with a company out of Hong Kong who is linked up with Skyvision Capital so that we could start the process of looking at the legal implications and aspects of opening up multiple different entities and setting up the DAO across multiple different countries, one being the BVI, another one being Panama. Because we're in America, there's certain things that have to be done a certain way, and we've tried to jump through all these hoops to make sure that the longevity and long-term vision of the project isn't compromised, right?
Part of this comes from, in America, we have the SEC to have to contend with and to be in full compliance. And when you start talking about raising investment funds, that in and of itself is an incredible hurdle to get over. And nobody wants to do this in an illegal or under the table fashion that, frankly, could put anybody at risk of getting in trouble with the government. In order to operate in a DeFi space, there are other more crypto-friendly countries, and when we get that raise, that's where it's going to have to go through entities that are outside of the United States.
So more transparency of how funds are used in the project. Absolutely, I'm sure that we can prepare something kind of detailing what's been spent, where it's been spent up to this point. Picture of the offices and staff in the offices, a current count of how many staff you have employed. Yeah, we can work on that. Absolutely. I should be able to take those pictures here in a few minutes because we're almost back to the office. How many developers do we actually have? So they don't all work in the office. We're working with a few other third-party developers. One of them being Little Links or FOMO Labs, who I believe has a staff of like 10 to 20 different developers, and then that's just in-house. Out-house, we have even more than that. That's one of the partners that we're working with, as well as a number of different other 3D asset creators that are all independent contractors. So, and all over the world, not right here, not all here in California. And I mean, again, same concept, right? The amount of hours that's put into that is like kind of not really calculable. A lot of these projects are paid on, we're going to give you the deliverables, you're going to pay us this much money, right? And then everyone seems to want a percentage. And so obviously, like, there's only so much percentage to give out, right? So, then status update on each employee, what they did, worked on in the last week. So when Elon Musk starts releasing that information to his shareholders, we can make sure you guys get it. I'm just joking. We'll try and be more transparent. We'll try and let you guys know exactly what's going on more and more on a day-to-day basis. We'll try to be available for you guys as much as we possibly can. I'm not going to take the time out of my day to write a report card on every single person that works on our project, because there's literally that many people where it'd be a waste of my time doing that, and I feel like my time's better spent doing other things. I know that you guys are going to see here in the next few weeks all of the fruits of what we've been working on, and hopefully that will be enough, for that.
Conceptually speaking, asking for really, it's a transparency. How are we planning on get from point A to point B, and is the work being done? Well, to show that nobody, not even in a regular job, is somebody say, well, I went to the bathroom from 10 to 10:05, and well, I did this, that, and yet literally I answered the call here. We're working very hard, very diligently, but what all this matters, there's a scoreboard, and the scoreboard is the functionality that we produce. Are we getting from point A to point B and having, obviously we were able to get the Soul Sand developed and minted, and yes, we have Soul Drifters coming. The raise is going to be of critical importance, but each step of the way, all the stuff that you are seeing out there and through the website and all the trailers and the assets, this is basically the report card of what's being done.
Excellent. So it's already kind of getting close to the end of the time that I had allotted for this today. So before we get off, I want to see if anybody else has questions and wants to come up and ask those questions. And then obviously we can try and answer more of these questions that have come up since we started in the chat. And I'm happy to continue doing more AMAs on a more frequent basis again, and I apologize that we haven't been. So, is there anybody that wants to come up and say anything or ask some questions?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my only question was if we could get like a simple site for staking set up. I think a lot of people would like to see their verse collected. I know you guys are probably counting it, but I saw one mention that we could get something set up in like 48 hours. I know it's not maybe the most important thing, but it would still be cool to help all these guys that have been holding for a while.
For sure, I understand completely where you're coming from with that. It's not something that I haven't been asking the dev team for. Part of it is because it's the way that we're tracking it right now isn't through staking or something like that. So it's not through a contract through the token. So what we'll do is basically put up instead of putting on a spreadsheet, let me make it into something that's a little more interesting to look at. But we should be able to have that for you guys here in the next couple of days.
And mechanically speaking, if we really had, like for real on the blockchain, that's ultimately where we want to put it. But we are giving credit. So from these snapshots, you are still earning.
Yeah, well, it would be cool also if you just share that, show what we have earned, because I think if people start to see that, that gives them a lot more motivation, I guess.
That's a great point.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, and I understand 100% where you're coming from. So,
Yeah.
Cool,
let
man.
us work
More
on
power
it.
to you guys.
And those, I mean, that's a great suggestion, even though you preface it like, well, I know it's not the highest priority. I'd love to hear 10 more ideas like this. We've got a big community, you know, 5 heads are better than 2 and 10 heads are better than 5. We've got hundreds. And if we put our heads together, we're going to come up with some good ideas. Not that obviously we can't come up just because somebody asked for one thing. Oh, just do this, just do that. But believe me, if we collectively have a suggestion box, we're going to come up with some really cool stuff. That's the power of the community. We're building a great community with a lot of really smart and creative people.
Fantastic,
May I
man.
jump in?
Fantastic.
Oh, sorry. Is somebody speaking, or can I have a shot?
Go ahead.
Great. Hi, guys. You can call me ARG as opposed to 4RG. That's very sweet of you to say the number, though. Thank you very much for sharing a little bit of the sort of background info. Gives us some insight into, you know, there's stuff moving forward. You have some priorities, etc. I know you want to galvanize the community and help us to push things in a way that, you know, only the community can, which I completely understand. But I think what's interesting is you guys have tunnel vision a little bit. I mean, it sounds like you have so much going on, so many things that you're trying to get done. It's hard for us to kind of pick out. We could probably easily say, hey, if you just tell us about that or share this, or, you know, just like the verse example that was shared a second ago, you've got it all in your heads and you know what's going on, but we don't know how to unpack that from you. So what would be really great is, you know, maybe these AMAs are an excuse for you to share on a weekly basis, hey, in the last week, these are the things that we did. And then that's a perfect opportunity for suggestions to arise. Hey, why don't we share that with the community? Let's use that as an excuse to make a raid, whatever the thing is. The point is, we can be creative outside of that box, but it's even more valuable for me as a community member and for, I'm sure, many other OG holders and people who have been around for a while, to really see that, you know, this is moving forward. Maybe not the rate we all want, but at the same time, it has clear, progress.
It's trending. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. There's a trend. It's trending towards a positive objective as opposed to just sort of not moving at all, which is, I think, a lot of the fear and FUD, at least, that I've read in the channels over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I mean, please share more, even in these verbal conversations, so that we can maybe use this as a jumping off point to say, okay, what about we share this, or how can we support you?
That's a great point. That's a great point. We'll see if we can do more of that. Again, that's the collaborative effort that will really benefit all of us. We appreciate those comments.
You're definitely
Cool.
right, Art. And we can absolutely make an effort, to try to do that. And again, I'm sorry. I apologize that, we've been kind of off and on, about our communication from our side. But, please believe that it's not for lack of working.
It's not just hanging out at the beach. We're working our butts off.
Just a side note on that. Hey, we're all human beings, right? And we all know that we have shit going on. Sometimes our IRL lives are insanely distracting, and we just have to get on with that and sort of distract ourselves from this kind of Web3 stuff we're excited about. And I think all of us will understand if you say, hey, you know what, guys, this week we've all just been super flat out with other stuff. We haven't really got any progress to share. Me personally, I'd 100% respect that. But again,
we want to be
that
honest
level of
with what's
transparency
going
would
on.
make all the difference. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Point well taken, and we'll try to do even better job of that going forward.
Yeah, I'm not trying to keep hitting keep hitting the same point. One last thing I wanted to comment on or ask about was, you guys are talking about this fundraise. What experience do you guys have in fundraising in the past, or have you? Because obviously, not all founders necessarily have that experience. But it'd be great to know more about that.
Sure, we actually do have collectively from the team some experience doing that. Me personally, I'm older than most of these around here, but back in the .com days and several raises that I've gone through, and I'm one of the ones on the team that has a legal background as well, and M&A mergers and acquisitions and finance through different entities. So yes, we have some experience on that. This is different because it's more of a global type of raise, right? Literally, and we would prefer the money come from outside the U.S. for the SEC stuff that we were talking about. So yes, we have some experience, and yes, we have a vision of how we're going to attack that problem. We've already been formulating and are executing on as we speak, which is why we were talking about having these offshore entities. Those are going to be critical because no offense to anybody here, but I don't want to go to jail. That's we want to do it right.
No, that makes sense.
And
that
so we
makes
want to
total
do it
sense.
right.
I completely get it. There's a couple of other points there, but I mean, in the future, when you share more or ready to share more about the fundraising, obviously when it comes to fundraising, I don't think this community needs to know absolutely everything about that, because as somebody who has fundraised many times in the past, this is not something that, creating absolute transparency at every step of the way is almost impossible. You'll never satisfy everybody's needs, and that's fine. Focus on the fundraise. But if there are, you might want to invite people in the community to participate in some practice pitches or whatever the case may be. That may be relevant or helpful to you. Again, I'm sure out of the thousands of people here, there's at least a few who have experience that can at least kind of give you some feedback as you prepare for pitching.
Right. We will try to do that. That's a great
an awesome
point.
suggestion. Yeah, I really like that idea. I absolutely think that we could benefit from that. We'll be right back. We have to run to the bank. I'm on a phone call right now. This is my wife, guys.
Sorry. Hang on one second.
That's when we all send our best.
Yeah. Tell them how much time I work on Solana.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Okay, I love you. We're going to the bank. We'll be right back. Sorry. That's my wife, everyone.
But your
I
point.
love that idea. Yeah, we can absolutely 100%. I think that if anyone's listening right now, and you have that skill set, or you're interested in being a part of that, we would absolutely love to get some kind of a special counsel, I guess, right, for specifically for the pitch. Anyone that wants the pitch deck we've released, I'll release. I don't know if it's the latest version that we released to you guys or not, because I made some changes now with all the new Souldrifter art. And I'll put that out to you guys when I get back to the office. And then anybody who's interested, we'll make an announcement as well, obviously, because I know not everybody's here today, and time-wise, it's hard for all of us being worldwide, right? So we'll make an announcement, maybe even a special channel that is specifically geared towards the pitch. And then anyone who has experience in that arena and would like to help, we're happy to facilitate that. I think it's a great idea.
And kind of a tangent to what you had said just before that, of course, you just can't please all the people all the time. We get that. We're also not here to tell you that, we are leading this project, right? And people that invested want to know that the leadership can get you to where you want to be. That being said, there's challenges that come up literally every day that no matter how much, and we've collectively got decades of experience. So we don't know everything, but usually we know where to go to find the answer or help solve the answer or go to somebody who can help us. And that's the kind of collaborative team that we have here. But there is experienced leadership. This wasn't just some 12-year-old out of the garage. We're going to be able to get us where we need to go, and that's the goal.
For frame of context, we run a multi-million-dollar marketing and web development company for our day-to-day job.
Great. You could probably hire some people in the community if you wanted to, if you're ever looking to. Not me, by the way. But,
we probably should.
Anyway, Jen, thanks so much for making the time. I have to rush off as a parent who's totally ignoring his children. I mean, they're lovely, but, I want to know what's going on with my investment. Anyway, gentlemen, nice. I'll hit you guys up separately at some point, the fundraising side, but obviously I don't want to inundate you with unnecessary comms. So yeah, I look forward to the next one of these as well.
Well, thank you so much. And yeah, we all have to jump off now with the time constraint. But thank you everybody for taking the time to visit with us. We'll be back again next week.
Cheers. Awesome. With that, thank you guys all so much. We can't do this without you, and I can never stress enough how important the community is to this project and how important your guys' support is to us. This is something that we thought was a really great dream and idea, and it's amazing how many people have supported that dream and idea, and I'm really excited for what the next few weeks hold and what the future of the project holds. And I can't wait to take this to the next level, and to have all of you guys here with us is just huge. So, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you everybody. I'm gonna get this uploaded to our YouTube, and then we'll have I believe Drew will go over it this weekend and make some notes to post so that there's a easy to access written version. Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.